And a bad side effect of riding out in the country is you do have to deal with Farmer Fred. Oh well, they gotta do what they gotta do. I get that. I just wish every once in a while they'd look back and say, yeah, I should pull over and let traffic go for a minute. Maybe he won't go too much farther up here. Yeah, wasn't too bad. Oh. Anyway, it may seem like I've been slow in the videos here lately, but I've had a lot going on. You know, I had family come in, and me and the friends I grew up with, we still get together and have our annual fishing trip. And I got another video. It's going to be not motorcycle related, but we had one of our friends that passed away there a couple years ago, and we haven't had a chance to make that trip with all of us there at the same time in about 2 years. We never missed, and then he died, and then we missed a year, and then we missed another year. This would have been 3 years. Just the way things worked out. But so we did that and had a good time. And I'm actually down right now from a back injury, which, like, why are you on a motorcycle? Well, it's herniated disc, and they didn't tell me I couldn't do it, but got that going on. But I'm also got a hernia I'm dealing with too, so I'm gonna be having a hernia surgery here in about 8 or 9 days. So I'm gonna be down for a little bit, but things are what they are. You know, still got to try to get what you can when you can get it, because that's one thing you can't get back is time. If learning anything over, you know, the last couple of years, and looking back on the last 20 some years, is, you know, I missed a lot of years on making plans with friends and trying to get to certain places, and I kept letting life and work get in the way and problems, and that time is gone, and I can't get that time back. So though it was very painful for me to be on that trip, go fishing with my friends, you know, I just sucked it up, but it was worth it, just to do all the things that we needed and wanted to do, and just see everybody and hang out and letting the boys just be boys. Nice day for a ride. I had to go see one of those friends again because I left one of my memory cards for my GoPros in his camper. She don't live that far away from me, so I was like, yeah, you know what, I ain't got nothing else better to do at the moment. And this bike hasn't been ridden in a couple of weeks. I was like, I'm gonna take the bike and go. And I take my time, and stuff like that should be okay. I'll probably pay for it later though. But it ain't the first time I've done something I shouldn't have done when I did it. And it won't be the last, I guarantee you that. But a lot of my vlogs and things that's on my mind, I guess I'll be doing from the garage. I kind of want to take the bagger out for this because it was already dirty. But man, I gotta get everything cleaned up because it's gonna be a couple weeks before I can touch them again. I was like, you know what, this bike, it ain't always about being clean. This bike needed to be ran. So I decided, yep, I'm taking out my bike. I'm taking out the R1250 GS Adventure. It's going to need new tires before too long. I ain't got that many miles on it, but about 34, 35, but tires starting to look shim. But you know, those are a dual sport tire that they basically put on it to begin with. I will not be putting the same tire back on the bike, especially if I'm only getting 5,000 miles. And speaking of tractors in the road, there we go. I got a half mile just to go. I hate doing that because I don't think they can always see. He's got something there to maybe tear some stuff up. Hell, I'm starting to wish I'd have stayed on the main highway. I wanted to do this old backwoods trip this way. When I used to live in Fredericksburg, we used to come down through this way. Screw it. You didn't see that. One thing coming down these narrow little roads like this, especially on motorcycles, you just don't, you got to really pay attention and be prepared. The edge of the woods is, tree line's right there, and deer could be right there and you'd never know it, or some other animal mess you up. Ain't like it's any different though for being out on the main highway. I mean, you can still have things run out from you there, so it's always keep your eyes moving. Have fun, but don't get too relaxed. Remember most of the trip back down the way we used to do it. I've hit it right so far. Going the back way to the hunting property. The guy that passed away, it actually was his property. We still go there. His wife, invites us to come down, and she knew that's what her husband wanted to happen with that place, for us to keep on going. There's just solar fields all over the place. I'm trying to turn this whole area into a damn solar field. But that's the way the technology wants to go, which I'd say to hell with the solar fields, and get rid of those and just do the windmills. I think the windmills are cool. Some people see them as an eyesore. I just think they're super cool. But I think that solar farm's a little bit more of an eyesore. Not much else exciting going on. I haven't been working because of the damn injuries and shit. Haven't been doing much riding because of injuries and shit. But now I'm picking up another hobby. I'm getting into air rifles. I've been putting one of those together, researching that a lot. I grew up pellet rifle in my hand and stuff like that, and these things are way more advanced than what I had. I mean, you can still get the same exact Crossman pellet rifle I had, and the same Daisy Red Ryder BB gun I had, and we're a little bit way beyond that though. I picked up the Air Venturi, I think however the hell you say that shit. I did that in a 25 cal. Got that. I'm gonna do some videos on that. Do the learning curve. It's being a learning curve, that's for sure. But they used to actually be one of my hobbies. I had two hobbies. I used to have a bunch of hobbies, but I calmed them down because, man, it's just expensive having a bunch of hobbies. And it's like, instead of half-assing a couple of them, because you're trying to spread your money out and shit, just go ahead and just single it down, have one or two. So I decided on two, and motorcycles is number one. My biggest hobby, my most expensive hobby, but not as bad anymore because both my bikes are all three bikes are paid for now, so that's not a big deal. So it's just maintenance and insurance, and then riding gears got to be updated every so often. So that's been pretty cool. I mean, I know they'll break down eventually and those issues will happen, but that'll be okay. Damn, it's like a parade coming by here. Sooner or later, I'm just going to have some balls, I guess. Well, I'll be good after this gray car. No matter what, I'm going now. Shooting was my other one. Then we had the issue there in 2013 that ran ammo up, and it finally got down. Prices started being decent again, getting back into it, started to shoot a lot again, and then COVID happened, and that raised the price of this shit just so damn high. I just didn't want to even mess with it anymore. Like, once you pull the trigger on, it's like gas. Once you burn it, it's gone. Well, the same thing as that round. Once you pull the trigger, it's gone. You can't really even do cheap rounds except for air rifles. I started looking at them about a year ago. I talked myself out of it, because of all the expense of getting it all together and the things you need. And then I looked at it again 6 months later, and I was like, no. And now I'm sitting there injured, really can't do anything. So I'm like, nope, I'm finally doing it. And it's like every other hobby. It's like once you get the initial stuff, getting all the initial stuff is expensive, but once you have it all, then it really cheapens down. So I was shooting at the other day. I was shooting my Springer. I have two. I've had a Springer for a long time, little 177 cal, but I was shooting at that at 2 pennies a shot, and I started thinking about, I was like, man, I haven't shot at 2 pennies a shot since I shot 22 long rifle and a golden bullet 20 years ago, which is just sad. You know, we used to get those CCI mini mags, and oh my god, those were like 8 or 9 cents a shot. Those were special. You didn't pull the trigger on those unless you were doing some serious shooting. It cracks me up to think about it now. That's the other reason I wanted to do the air rifle, just cheaper cost. But of course, the 25 cal I got, you know, I could shoot it pretty cheap, like 5-6 cents a round. But of course, the one round that I really want to use, no, of course, it's 14 cents a round. Still a lot cheaper than 49 cents a round, which is just ridiculous. Of course, I can always just shoot a little BB pistol that I got my wife. That's just like one of the guns that we have, her favorite gun. That's gonna be fun because it's full auto. Because you can do that in a freaking CO2 pellet pistol. Like, weird things about the air guns, man. You can just order the damn gun, whatever you want, suppressor, or they call them moderators there. It's a suppressor. It just ships right to your door. No big deal. Not a problem. But if you do it on a regular gun, oh, you got to go get a tax cam, get fingerprinted, you know, get a NATO probing, look at everything you ever did. You know, hey, we see here when you were in kindergarten, you kind of crapped your pants a little bit, so no, we can't let you have that. Stupid shit. I know a lot of guys got them and stuff like that. I just don't want to deal with all that shit. And even a subsonic 22 long rifle in a short is still not as quiet as a lot of these air rifles are. Like, I was seeing the average reading, it was like a really good 22 rifle, long rifle, subsonic ammo, you know, doing a short out of a suppressed 22 was like between 120 to 130 decibels. Well, most people are saying, then you get an air rifle and it's 25 caliber and it starts off at 110, you can put a suppressor right on it, now you got down to 96. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 decibel is a big deal. That's the catch to all that. Like, if you're just doing like 1 single decibel, that's kind of a big deal. How that works, it's really weird. Like 10 decibels is a huge difference. I'm staying on the boring road here, working my way back home. It was good to see my friend again, even though I just saw him a couple days ago. We used to turn just me and him bullshit instead of, you know, 6 people being there.